Celebrate small businesses, the enduring lifeblood of our community, with the launch of the KBLA SMB Marketplace. For the first time, small to medium-sized businesses will have an opportunity to promote Sorry, y'all. And services on KBLA. Hit the like button. Hit it up. Hit it up. Reach and local market power. The SMB Marketplace is hosted exclusively on KBLA1580.com and is accessible from all our social media channels. Whether you're a small mom and pop restaurant, a car dealership, or a professional practitioner, we invite you. Talk 1580 initiative to promote your business. As a Black-owned small business, you don't want to miss this unique opportunity to gain new customers on KBLA Talk 1580. For more information, contact us today at smb@kbla1580.com. That's smb@kbla1580.com. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black. I'm doing 8 things at once. Hey, so I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door. Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes 2 to tango. That's terrible. And I need to hear his side of the story. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice. Hit that like button. Come on in here. We about to get it cooking. John Gilbreth, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Come on. Everybody like that. Thank you, John Gilbreth. Thank you. If your woman withdraws or starts to shut down on you, more than likely it's something that you've done or said that makes her feel like it's not safe to love you. Like, as men, we tend to get it confused. We think, she must be complacent. She done got too comfortable. When ironically, it's probably the exact opposite. More than likely, she's not comfortable at all. And now her guard is up, which means her affection is down. And no, it's not spite, it's survival mode. And the more that you push on her to just snap out of it, the more you criticize her, the more that you threaten to leave if she don't step it up, the more you just validate her decision to get emotionally distant from you, because obviously you don't get it. The worst part is whenever you don't even make a valid effort to try to understand how she feels, because you're so consumed with how much her withdrawal is inconveniencing you, instead of acknowledging the fact that just by trying to love you, your woman is spiritually withering away right in front of you. And if that goes on long enough, then she's gonna pull away so far that no apology, no begging to go to therapy, no nothing is gonna pull her back in so you can have another chance. Gosh, man. I've come so far. That was Derek Jackson, right? I can remember the last time I thought like that. I was in my 20s. No disrespect to the brother, but it's such a foolish thought. It is foolish. Oh my God. We dangerous out here.
You know, some of these ideas are dangerous. Can we hear it one more time? I'm sorry. I just want to dissect the logic and the thought because it ties directly into our topic. I mean, it's, I mean, no disrespect to the brother. I'm not trying to judge him. I'm just saying, years ago, a few years ago, I heard that from a psychological perspective, many self help books are really dangerous, right? They're really dangerous. The ideas, the concepts, the thoughts that are contained therein, dangerous. And I just want to thank people like Dr. Jashana Johnson. I'm sorry, I say her name a lot because I have a lot of respect for her and, you know, her craft and the mastery of her craft. A lot of respect for Dr. Jashana Johnson. She actually teaches folk how to be therapists. And she shared with me that my first book, The Relationship Dismount, How to Stick the Landing When Exiting a Toxic Relationship, is a tool she uses in her classroom. So, needless to say, that was a huge, I don't want to say ego booster, but it was a huge compliment to me and the work that I have put in. I don't necessarily like, and of course I'll crack jokes using this, but I don't like anecdotal solutions, right? I want to go find out the spiritual side of the argument. I want to find out the clinical side of the argument. And I want to find out the pros and cons to both sides of those arguments so I can have a well-rounded ideation about the particular topic. Now, I want you guys to listen very carefully. And this isn't to disrespect this brother. This isn't to discredit this brother in any way, shape, or form. But I want y'all to listen. Play it.
If your woman withdraws or starts to shut down on you, more than likely it's something that you've done or
Pause.
said that makes her feel like it's not.
What if she has a dismissive avoidant or fearful avoidant attachment style? Play it.
That makes her feel like it's not safe to love you. Like as men, we tend to get it confused. We think, you know, she must be complacent. She done got too comfortable. When ironically, it's probably the exact opposite. More than likely, she's not comfortable at all. And now her guard is up, which means her affection is down. And no, it's not spite, it's survival mode.
Pause. What if she's in survival mode because she's poorly educated? I'm just saying. Poorly educated is just one aspect, right? What if she's well educated but came from a really tumultuous background where there was a lot of unhealed trauma? She modeled a lot of toxicity in her early childhood. If we're dealing with the biology of belief, the author, I forgot his name, he's an amazing guy. I always talk about him. His book is called The Biology of Belief. He says by the time we're 7 years old, 95% of our conscious self is already developed. If we're talking about John Bowlby, Mary Ainsworth, John Bowlby's in the 50s when he comes with attachment theory. Mary Ainsworth is in the 70s and the 80s. Okay? When they come with attachment theory. All right? So guess what? Do you know how many people have added on to attachment theory since they started talking about it? It's an evolving theory. None of that stuff is mentioned in this quote. Bruce Lipton is the author of The Biology of Belief. Thank you, Reggie White. He slipped my mind. Go ahead, play the rest of it.
The more that you push on her to just snap out of it, the more you criticize her, the more that you threaten to leave if she don't
Pause.
Step it up.
That part I agree. Right? The more you push, the more she'll pull away. I agree with that. But that's what anxious preoccupieds and avoidance do to each other. The anxious preoccupied leans in. The avoidance styles pull back because they feel smothered, right? But none of this is referenced in what he said. Keep going.
The more you just validate her decision to get emotionally distant from you because obviously you don't get it. The worst part is whenever you don't even make a valid effort to try to understand how she feels because you're so consumed with how much her withdrawal is inconveniencing you. Instead of acknowledging the fact that just by trying to love you, your woman is spiritually withering away right in front of you. And if that goes on long enough, then she gonna pull away so far that no apology, no begging to go to therapy, no nothing is gonna pull her back in so you can have another chance.
Goodness. That's why I always say, man, stay away from absolutes. Okay? Stay away from absolutes. There are no absolutes. We always say it on this show. Some but not all. Some but not all. And that applies not only to all people, some but all, some people but not all, but that also applies to the scenario he's breaking down. He might be right in some situations in that particular scenario, but not all, some but all. Okay, here we go. Y'all done got my blood pressure up. Tonight's topic is right in line. Here we go. EMO scammers. Emotional scammers. I'm going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to make you feel the way you want to feel. I'm going to give you what your wounds have been dying and crying for. Just like a narcissist can mimic, pantomime, and perform empathy, so do these emo scammers, the emotional pickup artists. This is coming back to what I was talking about yesterday when I was talking about how sisters are so universally, galactically, spiritually superhuman. And based on the society and the culture in which you live, which were pretty much put together by men, they found ways to make you believe that you are not superwoman. You got women out here now talking about, I'm gonna need you to make me safe so I can be intimate. How about if he cannot make you safe, leave? How about if he doesn't come in safe, leave? Let's get deep. Because I know many of y'all have never heard this, that there exists a safety gender gap. There is a gender gap in safety. I'm going to tell you again, like I said yesterday, who leads in yin and yang? Who is the leader of yin and yang? Is yin the leader or is yang the leader? We seem to think that the man, by default of his gender, is the leader of the relationship. Right? That's what most men will say. Not understanding that men wrote the rule. We're not looking for a complementary partner, one who counterbalances. That's what we're looking for in relationship. Counterbalance. Right? We got women out here believing that their safety is predicated on a gender, the man, the masculine energy, him, when, what are they saying now? What are they saying about attachment styles and insecure attachment styles? Do you know how much more there are of insecurely attached people than there are securely attached people? So, based on what the brother said, men are supposed to come in with the tools to be able to provide safety when he isn't self-actualized, self-realized. See, let's go deeper. What is the gender gap in safety. 1-800-920-1580. True or false? Just like the love languages could be an extension of our attachment wounds, so can the search for safety in others be an extension of those same unhealed wounds. I know these questions hurt. I know they hurt because I'm trying to exercise you from being a codependent. See, it's going to be good for a time. But when it ain't good, what skills have you developed to be able to live and thrive in the discomfort of the not so good moment? Let me read it again. True or false? I got this concept from Dr. Jashana Johnson. You don't understand. When she said this on the show, my whole head blew up and came back together like Men in Black. Whole head blew off. Then it came right back. She said, the Love Languages book, she said, I don't like that book because I believe the love languages to be an extension of the attachment wounds we get in early childhood. Blew my mind because everybody running around talking about my love language is touch. Well, maybe your mama should have hugged you. My love language is gifts. Well, maybe somebody should have gave you something. My love language is acknowledgement. Somebody got to communicate. Maybe somebody should have talked to you when you were a child. Do you understand? True or false? Listen, true or false? Just like the love languages could be interpreted as an extension of our unhealed attachment wounds, so can the search for safety in others be an extension of those very same unhealed wounds. 1-800-920-1580. What are some examples of psychological safety? Right? Is a man responsible for a woman's intrapersonal safety, or is he only responsible for the interpersonal safety? In other words, the physical safety. Ain't nobody gonna come in here and bother you as long as I'm here, right? Or is he responsible for her intrapersonal safety? Do men and women experience psychological safety the same or differently? Are women more safety conscious than men? Absolutely they are, because they get harassed more. They get catcalled. They get all types of attention they don't want. Oh, Lord, when we come forward, Lord have mercy. We got EMO scammers out here. I'm going to behave the way you want me to, and I'm going to season it with good feelings. Ooh. Let's go. What up, y'all? Get to your phone lines. 1-800-920-1580. Call me, call me, call me. Get to your phone lines. Get to your phone lines. Get to your phone lines. Call me, call me, call me. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. I don't know why YouTube be on my head lately. You know we supposed to be like 50, 60 people up in here. YouTube, stop playing with me. Ain't nobody cursing. Why you doing it to me? What did I do? Why did you allow me to pick up 5,000 subscribers in the last few months and then only let 28 people in here? That ain't right. Stop playing with me, YouTube. Let these folks come in here and get this good game. You know what it is. Everybody hit the like button. Maybe people are on the phone because people are just falling off. What is going on? Is it Mercury retrograde? What is happening? No, it's cool. I know I'm a be at one of these little weirdo parties, and I'm gonna run into the CEO, and I'm gonna be like, yo, man, you gotta unchain my channel. I know I'm gonna run, I'm gonna run into somebody. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be like, yo, y'all gotta stop playing with your boy. John Gilbreth, man, thank you, brother, for being so consistent, both on the phone calls and definitely on the super chat. But I will say, man, your phone calls have been amazing, good brother. Melody Waters, what up? Dustin, what up? Call me. Yeah, let's go. Peace. Now all of a sudden jump up 37. Something happening. Men plus service equal abuse. Wow, John. You're going to have to call in and explain that. Wow. Wow. Like it, share it. Let's go. Playlist on deck.
Today I'm going to be talking about Hines and his cult tactics that draw people in and keep many people in a loop of self-sacrifice, disguised as self-love and understanding. Now, this YouTuber uses very simplistic and vague statements that can be interpreted in many ways, which often helps cult leaders create a sense of wisdom without actually saying anything of substance. This approach makes followers feel like they're gaining profound insights while keeping things ambiguous enough to avoid scrutiny. It's also a tactic to appear more accessible and relatable, making it easier for people to connect with the content on a surface level. I've really dissected the layers of his approach and the appeal it had during the pandemic lockdown, a vulnerable time where many of us just needed a close friend through the screen. His high production value creates an illusion of authority and expertise, which can be very compelling, especially when paired with a calm demeanor that people associate with wisdom and stability. However, the lack of depth and genuine growth in his content is problematic, particularly for followers who are seeking real, transformative advice. It's interesting how he capitalized on the emotional and psychological state of people during the pandemic, providing a sort of comfort blanket through his content. But as the collective need shifted, his inability to evolve and address deeper, more meaningful topics became more apparent. This highlights a key difference between superficial comfort and genuine guidance, where genuine guidance requires continuous self-work, authenticity, and depth. All of which Hines does not embody after personally spending 18 months with him. His reliance on simplicity is to mask a lack of profound insight and also underscores the importance of critical thinking.
Listen, the woman is talking about a damn YouTuber. Simplicity was his get down. right? KISS, keep it simple, stupid, right? Here's the cold part. She talking about a YouTuber. Somebody on YouTube with content to try to make it seem like they're wise. But as she stated, no real depth, right? Now, watch this. That's relationships. Oh, yeah. You put the Jungian mask on. You get your performative empathy down. Let me tell you something. Healed people, it's hard. No, excuse me. I said that wrong. Unhealed people gotta do stuff for you. Listen to me now. Unhealed people got to show up and do things. And also, unhealed people want things. Do you know healed people don't do a lot? Listen to what I'm saying. If we're reading the Kabbalion, right, the 7 Hermetic Principles, in the Kabbalion, it talks about how if you were to spin a spoked wheel, if you were to spin it as fast as it could go, the spokes would disappear. And it would look as if there's nothing there. The wheel is just spinning, right? Because it's spinning so fast. It looks like nothing's there. That's how spirituality works. The higher you go up in consciousness, you're vibrating at a higher level, but it don't look like it. Have you ever seen a ball player just so skilled, playing so well, they say he makes it look so easy? It's not easy though. Do you understand? In relationships, when you're unhealed, what your partner is doing for you is of paramount importance. When you start the healing journey, you start to realize, you know what, my expectations of them are in the way. Oh, Lord. Here we go. When we come forward, the phone lines are already cracking. We gonna get it in. Yo, what up, what up, what up? Y'all with me? Y'all with me? Man, tell somebody about it. Tell somebody. If y'all with me, man, let somebody know. Hey, Andy, this clock is like 25 seconds slow. That's why I be a little off. Yo, we got to get this thing together. They should take that out of here. Man, these coming forward, cutting into deep tonight. It really? You think so? So, I'm a writer and I'm a radio personality. I spend a lot of time in deep thought. I spend a lot of time reading. I've read 4,000 books, over 4,000 books. And yo, there are some of them are my favorite. I go back to them over and over and over again. I cross-reference them over and over and over again. Listen, take Attila. I told Attila today, I was like, really? I mean, I could do these topics by myself. But in a lot of ways, Attila is learning and understanding how I put topics together, right? But in that process of learning how I put topics together, it's like a free coaching session. Can I say that, Attila? Can I bring that up? I already said it. I think I should have asked before I said it. But you understand what I'm saying? I'm like, look at it again. See it from this angle. Dissect it from over here. Now go stand on that side, look at it over here. Now go in the front of it, look at it from that. Now get behind it and see. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's really like, this is what I'm saying. And people say, oh man, it ain't even got to be that deep. It ain't even that serious. Yes, it is. You understand? Yes, it is that serious. And like I said, I'm not trying to disrespect the brother for his clip, but it's a lot of people. First off, if we speak in psychologically, did you know the female mind is more prone to be affected by negative thought than positive thought? So if that's the case, my job of making you feel safe will never end. If, in fact, I am responsible for your intrapersonal safety, you're responsible for that. Nirvana is not gender specific. Moksha, what do the Christians call realization? Christ consciousness. None of this is gender specific. Like only men can rise to this level. No, women can rise to this level too. And in rising to this level of self-realization, do you really need a man to come in and make you safe? Now, a man can come in and help you to be physically safe. Absolutely. Now, when a man comes in and disrupts your intrapersonal safety, meaning I should be saying all this shit on the radio. I'm just turned up right now. Thanks for this topic, Attila. But 99% of this shit that everybody's talking about online is not psychologically supported. I didn't even heard some psychologists talking about it, and it's like, that's not psychologically supported. It's not. Like, did you know empath is nowhere in psychological work? No writings on empath. But folk talking about it, like, Heru, man, thank you, brother. I appreciate you for coming in and showing love. Thank you so much, brother. You've been here from day one. Truly appreciate you. For the brothers that have, for the people that have supported the channel, please like their donations.
Here's two ways to use language. Like, let's say I'm going to pick up a girl in a bar, all right? So I have a goal in mind, and the goal is the girl is irrelevant to the goal insofar as she could be another girl. So it's a psychopathic goal in some ways. Because really, because the individual doesn't matter. It is. I'm serious about that. So what I'm going to do, say if I'm a pickup artist, I follow these pickup artists online, because I'm so curious about their use of psychology. And all they ever do is come up with, it's like a whole horde of men talking about how to deceive and manipulate women. It's extraordinarily interesting and extremely psychopathic. And also it's very, 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 very unsophisticated and unskilled. Because what the guys are, they're lumps, basically, and what they're trying to do is to acquire the veneer of sophistication. And that's psychopathic. So anyways, that's my little spiel on pickup artists. But they're very interesting. So what they're doing is teaching their followers instrumental language. So if you want to sleep with a girl, here's how to do it. Here's how to manipulate her, They have a bunch of tricks like wear an expensive watch and dress up, and also don't just dress up, so dress up rich, roughly speaking, but also add something peculiar to your wardrobe, like something that really stands out as somewhat odd. They call that peacocking. So the girl can see that not only...
Do you see? He's talking about just this niche group, the pickup artists, but I'm saying this is a pervasive movement on both sides. I'm a peacock for her. I'm going to let my wallet lead. I'm going to be performative in everything that I do. I'm going to have the fly car. But on the flip side, she's looking at keychains. On the flip, man, listen, do you know what I just found out at my local cigar lounge? That, and some of the bartenders told me this, that there is a culture of bartenders, beautiful women, that will get a gig at a cigar lounge looking for the baller. The cigar lounge is the new golf club, golf course. So they're looking for the baller in the cigar lounge that they can get at. Because part of being a pretty bartender is flirting, to get them to buy more drinks, to get them to give bigger tips. So there's a lot of emotional scammers out here. Husband shopping while you at work. Because a bartender is not going to pay you a theoretical physicist salary. It's not going to pay you an engineer's salary. So you get your beautiful self in there to hustle the clientele. And men want to be hustled in the cigar lounge. Emo scammers, the emotional pickup artists. Are we expecting our partner to come safe because internally we are not safe? Do we want external safety to trigger our internal safety so that we can become intimate? Listen, so we can get closer, so we can build a bond. If we don't come safe and we come wounded and skeptical, then, as Robert Anton Wilson put it, whatever the thinker thinks, the prover will prove. If we come wounded, we're coming skeptical. If we're coming skeptical, we're coming close. Now, I'm not saying don't have any boundaries. I'm saying be aware of self and be aware of the other. If you're aware of self, the totality of yourself, guess what? You know you. And you know what's in alignment. Why is it that you can fall for a dark psychology trick? Because you're self-unaware. That's how it works. You go, God, I wish I would have saw that coming. No, you weren't looking first at yourself. Listen, you look into yourself, it'll tell you everything you need to know about your partner. 1-800-920-1580. Are y'all ready? Are y'all listening? I don't know. Man, people want to empower women. This is how you empower women. Tap into your intuition for real, not just your sentimentality, not just into your sympathy and your emotions. Tap into your spiritual well. Come on, man. I don't know. 1-800-920-15. Are you listening? Let's get these callers in here. Come on, we got to do it. We got to do it. We got callers from all over. Who's been on the longest? Reggie, Austin, Texas. Reggie, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
I think that honest wounds are very easily communicated. Whatever your wound is, it's communicated through your actions, and the person that you're communicating for sees what you lack, and so they're going to cater to that. Whatever it is, be it financial, be it emotional, be it physical, all those things as far as safety is concerned, what you were talking about, they're going to give all those things that you lack. And the thing about being wounded is that you share your wounds very, very honestly. And when you share your wounds honestly, you share them totally. And that leaves you open to a lot of foolishness, because you feel like you can be safe with this person and really tell them what's going on with you. And they play on that. Because they're in the business of capitalizing off weak people, because they're weak in themselves. It's a strange dance that they do.
No, this is deep. Are you saying weak people cannibalize each other? Go ahead.
Absolutely. And I think desperate people cannibalize each other. And the thing is, we share our weaknesses differently. When men share our weaknesses, we share them in forms of desperation. Like if I think I'm going to lose my job, I'm going to lose my income, then I get real desperate, and I take measures into my own hands, and I'm like, all right, it's either you or me, and it ain't going to be me.
It ain't going to be me.
Nah, and so it's every man for themselves, and that's what it is. Women can be very different as far as, sharing their wounds. But both sexes share their wounds honestly.
Stay with me. Don't leave.
Yep.
Don't leave. Don't leave. Reggie from Austin, Texas, in here cooking with the rarest grease, the voice of reason. Completely on fire tonight. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do, 1-800-920-1580.
To help combat climate change, LADWP is helping neighborhoods have better access to electric vehicles by awarding nearly
John, you know you got to get in here. Hey, Suge Mac 510, man. Thank you for the cash app. I mean, not the cash app. I don't think anybody gave me a cash app. I hope so, Ghetto Gourmet. We are at $42.94. I hope we can get to that $150 support goal. If you got 51 people in here, if everybody gave $3, $4, there you have it. And don't forget, you guys can send it to my Cash App. Support the Cash App, $ so what netter. Or hit the super chat, the little $ down at the bottom of the chat. 60 seconds. Thank you, brother. John Gilbreth, you already did it, brother. Damn. Thank you, brother. Can everybody hit the like button on John Gilbreth the second on his $20 support? Hit, and anybody who drops anything, $1, $2, $20, whatever, hit the like button. Show that you appreciate that they are sharing what they can share. We appreciate it. Jack Brazen, I hear you should call in and talk to me, brother. You have great questions. Call in and ask me those questions directly. Mm.
Normally you go around more interested in your own thoughts and ideas. And you're locked in your head, and it's like a record, like in the old vinyl days, going around and round and round the same grooves, right? You just switch it around, and you tell yourself, the other person is more interesting than me. Their life, their thoughts, their ideas, it's like an undiscovered world. It's like going to Tahiti or something and visiting another culture. They have experiences you've never had. They have a world that's not your world. It's fascinating. They're like a character in the movie. I want to understand it. If somebody did that to you suddenly in the office or in the realm of a male-female seduction, you would feel it. You would go, wow, that's rare. And you would be halfway seduced by just the attention. Okay, so the main thing is get them to talk about their childhood. Obviously, don't go, tell me about your father. Just get them to talk about their early life without being, too inquisitive, without making it clear that that's what you're doing. Everyone has this kind of emotional attachment to their experiences as a child, to where they grew up, to their parents, to their family, to their earliest friends. It's got all sorts of emotions surrounding it that are very potent and uncontrollable. So a very kind of slip-in question about someone's childhood, and then asking a few leading questions and letting them do the talking. So if you're peppering them with questions, you look like a lawyer. If they do 70% of the talking, they're not even aware that they're doing that, but you're letting them talk, you're letting them be the star. But you find a foothold into what excites them, and you get them to talk and open up about their childhood, and then occasionally a question, and then occasionally you go into your own life to sort of show, oh yeah, you had that, something very kind of similar. Mirroring people is a slightly manipulative trick, but it's very powerful. They start telling you things about their childhood that are powerful. You go,
Yeah, I had something very similar, and you probably have had something similar.
Yeah.
That's a really potent way of connecting to people. But you've got to be subtle. It's an art to getting people to talk and open up, to finding that thing that lights their face up, that gets them excited, you know?
If you touch upon a subject and you see that they get nervous or they laugh or they're very excited, just put that in your little index there and go and return to it. Notice you've hit upon a chord, a subject that either excites them or gives them like fear or whatever. There's something very powerful going on there, right?
Man, y'all know who that is. That's the author of the 48 Laws of Power, or the Laws of Seduction, or the 33 Laws of Self-Mastery. That's Robert Greene. Tonight's topic, emo scammers, the emotional pickup artist. And what is the point of this whole show? I'm trying to get you to understand that in self-awareness, you can thwart a lot of these psych hacks. The psych hack works on the self-unaware. I keep trying to tell people, man, nobody on the outside of you is the source for anything within you. Somebody meme it. Nobody on the outside of you is the source of anything that is within you. The source of your safety is internal, intrapersonal safety. Now, if you're with a man and y'all out in a physical space, then yes, he's supposed to help you. If something goes wrong, if we at the movies and somebody flare up, I'm on it. But internally, that's part of your self-work. And if you come into the relationship unsafe, beware of the self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Because the way our central nervous system is set up, whatever the thinker thinks, the prover will prove through confirmation bias. Yo, Reggie, Austin, Texas, get in here.
Man, last thing, you mentioned attachment styles and how they relate to love language.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go a step further. I think attachment styles relate to every major decision you make in your life.
Yeah, right.
It relates to where you live, your career, your choice of mate. All of those things relate to what you didn't get when you were a kid. Mm-hmm. I mean, they all relate to that. Mm-hmm. And they have something to do with it. Maybe not directly, but they have something to do with it. Either it's directly or you're fighting from it, but it has something to do with it. And as far as attachment styles, I mean, that's a skeleton key. Once you understand that attachment style, you can unlock a lot of different things in your life. Mm-hmm. So it really goes to the heart of what you're talking about tonight.
Man, I love it when you call in, brother. You one of the most solid people I've ever met, man. I appreciate you. And guess what you just did?
Put Austin in the building.
Austin, Texas is in the building. Will your city be next? Let's get it. 1-800-920-1580. We got D from Detroit. Yo, get in here. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Well, I would say that some people either learn how to be codependent or they learn how to be reliant on another person, and some people can't because I have a little sister, and years ago I hooked her up with this white boy because he was trying to talk to me, and I was pregnant, I had a baby, and I was like, "What are you trying to take on too much? You 18?" And I'm 5 years older than him, so I hooked her up with him. And now the years that went by, I didn't know what he was calling her, brown-headed black bees and stuff like that. And my other little sister was living with them, and he was telling me, I was sleeping with the both of them. The only person I ain't have is you. And you solid. And I said, so I talked to my sister about it, and she said, I don't care. I want to be codependent. She was like, I learned this from you. And I said, learned this from me? I said, when have I ever had a man live with me and we lived with a man? And she said, well, you do this and you do that, and you my big sister, and I just look up to that. And I said, so you codependent on me? And I had a baby at 15. She said, but you still graduated early, and you graduated from college, and I don't learn typically. I said, baby, I said, don't blame this on me. Don't blame this on me. And she was like, well, I just want to be back with him because my son, he is a burden to him, because he was saying that just because my nephew was mixed, that he didn't have a good opportunity in life and he should have had raised by a white girl. And my nephew be getting mad. So my sister be saying, no, you got the best of both worlds because you mixed. And on my side, you have fun. Yeah, on your daddy's side, you get to go on yachts, you get to go, in vacations. I don't get none of that stuff. So I'm saying, like, what is it about relying on somebody else? Which I know we got to rely on everyone. But what is it about just submitting and letting a person know that I do need help, I do need your support, and I can love on you, but I probably can't never love you.
Wow, that's a heavy story. We can't unpack that whole story right now, but guess what, D? Guess what you just did?
You have to be back in the hood.
You already know Detroit got the best stories. My goodness, that was like an episode of Gotham. Anyway, when you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. I'm not saying that a man is not responsible. If you with your woman, you are responsible for her physical well-being. I'm from that generation. We out together, you're safe with me. You in my crib, you're safe with me. Anything go down, I'm going to be the one to deal with it. I get that. Yes, women get harassed, women get stalked. It's all types of weirdness happening in women's lives, and men should be more aware of it and seek to try, especially the women in our lives, man, and seek to try to protect them. I get it. But there is an internal safety that we're talking about here that could wreak havoc on the relationship itself. Are men responsible for a woman's intrapersonal safety? I want to know. 1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, more from the VOR.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Maryland Governor Les Moore has signed a state of preparedness declaration ahead of the remnant.
One 1-800-920-1580. We need callers. Get in here, fellas, ladies. I want to hear from y'all. And Heru and John Gilbreth, man, thank you guys. You guys gave $40 a piece. We're at $83.88. I'm thankful. I'm grateful. I appreciate you guys showing up. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Ladies, I would love to know your thoughts on this. I would love to know how you feel about this. Is a man responsible for your internal safety? Don't forget to say hi to Josiah. My son is in here. Where is he? Hey, what up, baby boy? That's my baby boy. What up? He not a baby, but shit, he my baby. My youngest. What up, boy? You at work? Popping in on your dad? No, what's funny about my son, man, my youngest baby, he be saying it. I love you, Dad. I love you. My two oldest, they be like, sup, Dad. My youngest be like, I love you, Dad.
Dating a fat person, are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
I love good evidence. The child wasn't his, and you still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How is that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I don't like the kisses. There's something wrong with that.
You told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed. Look at you with the bad touch routine. How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses. Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
So Williams.
Reason and accountability.
The voice of reason.
Hi, it's Anna here, also known as the Crappy Childhood Fairy. And I wanted to talk today about the feeling of being safe. And obviously, we want to feel physically safe, but this video isn't about that kind of safety. I'm talking about feeling emotionally safe, which can be so important for those of us with childhood PTSD and so hard to find. So when someone says they don't feel safe, and again, I want to just focus on emotional safety, usually what they mean by that is they want to feel protected from attack in the form of criticism or judgment or ridicule or confrontation, like yelling, right? Or from getting put down or left out or ignored. All of these things can be really hurtful for really anyone, but for us, it can be extra harsh and we get triggered. And getting triggered into dysregulation can set us back for hours or days if we're not careful. It can cost us our equilibrium. We can't concentrate. We could be struggling with anger or just getting thrown for a loop with negative emotions. So, one place where you might hear safety as a really important value is in a session with a therapist or in a support group. And in that setting, there would be a really strong set of rules governing how communication is handled. Lots of listening and open-ended questions with a non-judgmental attitude, no criticism, just openings for discussion, very gentle. And that's really important. But when you're not in a therapy setting and you're just in real life, at work or in a classroom or hanging out with a group of people, are you able to feel safe? It's easier for some people than others, right? But this is one of the most best things about the daily practice that I teach. When I write fears and resentments and then meditate a couple times a day, I'm a lot more neutral to whatever people might throw at me. And if I do get a bit hurt about something and my hands start to go numb or my mind starts going chaotic, which is dysregulation kicking in, right? I can notice it and start taking steps to get re-regulated right away. And that is what safety is. Whatever is going on around me, I am more neutral. And I know that if anything ruffles my feathers, I can quickly get regulated again. So I'm safe. Now I know it can take some time to master this, and sometimes it's just better to stay out of upsetting situations. But developing this inner safety that keeps me feeling okay regardless of what other people say and do, because they're going to say and do all kinds of stuff, that is my true safety. And you'll find that this is a way more effective approach to increasing your safety than an approach we might go to by instinct, which is to try to make other people make us feel safe by not saying certain things or demanding that they respond to us in a very particular way. It's impossible to really control another person to that degree, and even if you could, no one wants to feel controlled. When someone does this to you, it's a killer for any sense of camaraderie or feeling like you can just be yourself and be accepted. Everyone wants to feel accepted for being themselves. And it kind of works two ways. Everyone deserves a chance to say things that come out wrong. And maybe people laugh, or maybe people make a disapproving face, or they lose a friend. But that's how we all learn. We get to be ourselves, and we get to learn from that experience. Okay, so obviously there are limits. People being threatening or, for example, sabotaging you in front of your colleagues with put-downs and gossip. That's not someone just being themselves. That's actual harm. And you can call them on it. But if you simply don't like someone's point of view or you have strong memories that come up around certain topics, just consider dealing with that on your side of the street and not trying to mandate what other people can and can't talk about. When you can keep calm inside and have your wits about you, it can't really hurt you.
She's cooking. My crappy child. It's not nobody else's responsibility to make you internally safe. My goodness. You got a whole sector of TikTok. A man's supposed to make her safe so she could be intimate or so she can flower, so she can open. Wait a minute. No. That's an inside job, another inside job. What is the gender gap in safety? The concept of safety varies significantly between genders due to societal conditioning and inherent psychological differences or physiological differences, Women often face greater external threats, necessitating heightened vigilance. Men, traditionally viewed as protectors, may internalize their vulnerabilities, leading to a different manifestation of safety concerns. Do you understand? Psychological safety. I'm just push this down, I'm gonna act tough, and I'm gonna make my way through this. That's how men do. When we're listening to the sister from My Crappy Childhood, she was basically saying, take the criticism out. Safe space when a therapist uses it. Take the criticism out. Take the judgment out. Take the volume in your voice down. Right? And speak from a non-judgmental space. Sounds like what we're calling safety is really acceptance. Right? You are safe from my judgment. You are safe from my negative criticism. You are safe from my anger and disappointment and me not agreeing with. You're safe from all of that. Right? But a lot of people are emotional scammers. How many people you in a damn relationship with them, they start yelling at you, they start talking reckless to you, y'all may have never been to that space before. And then when you match their energy, you somehow at fault. Because you raised your voice and you start talking. You got to remember something about a vector. Once you cross a vector, everybody can. Did you know before that one guy, who was the first guy? I'm going to ask you guys this question. Who was the first person to run a mile in under 4 minutes? Who was that guy? Because before he did that, nobody else was able to run a mile in under 4 minutes. But after he did it, then because a vector was crossed, everybody started doing it. Y'all remember the first time somebody ran a sub 10 in the 100 meters? Then everybody started doing it. Carl Lewis started jumping into the nines. Ben Johnson started jumping into the nines. Now everybody doing it. British athlete Roger Bannister became the first person to run a mile in under 4 minutes on May 6, 1958. So what happened is, I don't like the emotional scamming that goes on when you have one partner that loses their cool, and then when their energy get matched, they get butthurt and say, well, wait a minute, you're yelling at me. Well, you're the one who crossed this vector. Now we're here. See, we got to stop having imbalanced expectations for our partner as it pertains to safety. Did you feel like you were attacking this person's safety when you started the yelling match? You only felt unsafe when they matched your energy. Do you see? There are people who do this and go run with their tail between their legs after they get met with any pushback. Right? Heavy stuff, right? We on it tonight, and I got callers. And then let me just say this too. Remember, Dr. David R. Hawkins' consciousness grid. I always go to this because it's important. His consciousness grid is one of my favorite tools in relationships. I showed my god sister the consciousness grid during my master class. And she was like, yo, this is a valuable tool when we're talking about levels of consciousness. The lower levels of consciousness, right? This is where you have shame, guilt, apathy, fear, pride, desire, anger, lower levels, right? At the lowest level, you got shame and guilt. That's inaction, right? Desires, anger, pride, that's hyperactivity in that area, right? Now, what's interesting is what I find is people who are wounded, who haven't totally, and this is, healing is a process, right? But people who haven't got on the healing process, it's a never-ending process, right? But people who never got on it really, they maybe done it a little superficially, because this is something that's never going to end. But people who are not that serious about really digging in deep and finding out the truth about themselves, they got the most inflexible expectations of their partners. They want their partner to really acquiesce to the demands of their unhealed wounds. That's not how healthy relationships should operate. I'm broken, so you got to respect my broken pieces. And you got to walk on eggshells around my broken pieces. No, it is your responsibility to heal. It is not my responsibility to caretake your unhealed wounds. It's not my job. But what we do know about spirituality says relationship is a mirror. So I'm going to reflect the work you neglect. Somebody, if I don't see that if that ain't on Instagram and X, that's what your partner does for you. They reflect what you neglect. So if you're neglecting the inner work, it's going to be reflected back to you via your significant other, right? And understand about crossing the vector. Every time you do something disrespectful, you might not notice. You're unconsciously giving your partner a coupon to respond in kind. So now you're both making each other unsafe in the relationship. You're both struggling to be safe. Do you understand? Safety is an inside job first. Examples of psychological safety. Psychological safety involves an environment where individuals can express themselves without fear or judgment or retribution, right? Examples include open communication, mutual respect, and the assurance that vulnerability will not be met or will be met with empathy rather than criticism. What happens if you tell somebody, man, I made a terrible mistake. I apologize, and I did it because I was afraid of losing you. And they act like you owed them that statement, and they don't acknowledge the gravity of the statement. See, it's easy for people to say, make me safe. But then when it's time for you to make them safe, you don't want to reciprocate. I've seen it 1,000 times. And men, a lot of times, be on the short end of it. Because you know what trumps your apology? Their pain. And where there is pain, there is a justification to feel unsafe. You brought this here. I don't know if y'all listening. I don't know if y'all can hear what I'm trying to say. In seeking to establish safety, we're talking about internal safety, right? Or in seeking to establish safety externally, I don't even want to say this. I don't even want to. Seeking external safety can stem from both willful ignorance and spiritual inertia. Social media amplifies this by creating a facade of connection while perpetuating unrealistic standards and the illusion that safety can be outsourced. Robert Anton Wilson's concept of reality tunnels highlights how our preconceptions shape our experiences, leading to a cycle where the thinker, whatever the thinker thinks, the prover will prove. Confirmation bias. Do you understand? You can't outsource safety. How is God in all of us, but we unsafe? Because we focus on what hurts or what has hurt. Babette Rothschild, the body remembers. But the body is only awakened in those moments when you're in a situation that is reminiscent of the original event. You're not going there on your own. You got to be put in a situation that is reminiscent of the original event, and then it'd be like, oh, it's still here. You should be in that classroom empathizing with those wounds so you can unlock the energy in your body. Sister was talking about emotional regulation, right? My crappy childhood, mindfulness, meditation. Oh, and then I can find the space of neutrality. Well, we go back to the map of consciousness. Neutrality, right? Listen, shame is all the way down here at 20. Neutrality, these are levels of consciousness. Neutrality is up here at 250. That's when you're just, okay, I'm cool. I accept what's going on. It's all right. Many people struggle to be there. Listen, when I come forward, the voice of reason, gonna get back to these phone lines. Dustin, I'm coming to Baltimore. Fire show today, guys. Nick, I need you to come in here with that one. That's fire. Hey, did just Josiah, did he leave? I don't like calling him just Josiah. Just Josiah. The cold part is when he was in his mom's belly, I was going to name him Masai. That was one of the names I had for him. Masai. But she didn't like it. No, I think she liked it. Oh, it's like that, Andy? Andy. It's like that? It's like that, Andy? Andy. Andy. It's like that? You gonna come in here with chicken? It's like that? I'm like, normally you eating salad. You in there with wings? I love that shit. I hope I'm explaining this. Does this make sense? You know, y'all could tell me, Zoe, this is stupid as hell. You know, y'all could say that. Zoe, this makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Let me know. If you're not grasping it, if you think it's outside of the box, if it's non-linear, let me know. Okay? Please.
No clip on this one. You love what you do with them pants. Ooh, that track. All you wanna do is gas me. How we end up in the backseat. Just trying to get to the bag. We on the same page, you the same way. Only keep the fam around me. So let me know what it's gonna be. I don't plan on getting no sleep. While we doing nothing, moving too fast. Candy paint with the windows all black, seats creme brulee. What they gon' say? Put the top down, screaming money, anything. We up till 6 in the morning. When the sunrise, we'll be on it. Oh, I got 5, oh, it's so live. Tell me when to go, baby, when we gon' slide, baby, when we gon' slide. Hey, all pro night, baby, when we gon' slide. Oh, baby, when we gon' slide, slide.
Ladies and gentlemen, the coldest relationship show in the world, back in the building. You know what it is. It's Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, live from KBLA Talk 1580 in the heart of Leimert Park. We have an amazing, and I mean, all of these conversations are nuanced and layered and complex, and you know, and let me just say this, because my daughter, my daughter be getting tired of me because I be trying to pick her brain. I try to pick her brain, to get, the mindset of her, generation, so to speak. And man, she be like, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Nah, Dad, I don't want to. So what's so beautiful is this show has attracted young folk who are excited about these types of discussions, and it's giving them insight, or I should say a different insight than what most people are out there talking about. It's a higher level of understanding. And I'm just appreciative to Tavis for giving me a shot to do this, because it's really affecting folk across the nation. Andy? Thank you. Right, I try to bring it down to the ground. You know what it is. Now, before we came forward, and now we've come full circle, we were talking about the consciousness grid, right? And we're talking about the level of neutrality, according to Dr. David R. Hawkins, author of the book Power versus Force. When you get to the level of consciousness of neutrality, here's the God view, enabling. Here's the life view, satisfactory. Here's the emotion, trust. The process is release. Now, what's cold-blooded is, according to Dr. David R. Hawkins' research, he says everybody on planet Earth, the majority of everybody on planet Earth is vibrating at the level of 100, which is fear. So people in relationship are fear-based, which means I need you to make me safe. So the demand to be made safe makes sense. 150 points of conscious evolution is needed just to get neutral, which is what the lady said from my crappy childhood. I have to practice mindfulness in order to just be in a neutral space. That's deep. Just to get in a neutral space, because I know, she said, I know people are going to be a certain way. I know people are going to act a certain way. They're going to be, they're going to be critical. But the characteristics of neutrality, so you can feel safe intrapersonally: impartiality, non-judgment, observation, acceptance, open-mindedness. When you're unhealed, your mind is always closed. Try to crack that door open. Acceptance is difficult for the unhealed heart. That's why forgiveness is difficult. Observation is always observed through the lens of what has yet to heal. So all they can see is pain. And judgment is par for the course for the wounded heart. I don't want to feel this way again. I don't want to go through. And I have to be partial to my wounds because they're real. The pain is real. So safety is a must. I'm not talking about physical safety. Brothers, you know you're supposed to stand up, protect your sisters in the physical context of this discussion. I'm talking about intrapersonally. Is he responsible for your wounds? When we come forward, I'm going to Dustin from Baltimore. I know I said I would get to you this one, but I had to get that last piece off. Rather, we going to Baltimore when we come forward. That's 100% right in this wounded space, Jack. The winner in every relationship at this fear-based level of consciousness is the one who cares less. That is 100% accurate. Hundred percent agree. Hey, if you're enjoying the content, please go to my Cash App, show your love. That's a high level of consciousness right there. Don't hit us with like 450, Attila. Don't go up to the 450 level of consciousness. Don't do that. Don't do that. The winner is the one who realizes there is no battle. Don't do that. People just don't make proper reservations. Hey, go to my Cash App. Can everybody in here drop a 5 spot on my Cash App? Let's do a mini fundraiser for Zoe. Can everybody in here drop a 5 spot on my Cash App? I'd appreciate it. Please support. There is no spoon. That's what Attila hit us with. She hit us with there is no spoon. That's one of my favorite scenes in The Matrix, I promise. Tapped in. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. Can everybody like that tapped in donation? And please send it to the Cash App. Don't tapped in used super chat, but if you can send it to the Cash. Okay, Serenity J Nicolette. I hope you're enjoying. Are you enjoying it? Are you enjoying the show? Apparently you are. Thank you, Serenity J. We're at 93.88 right now. We're just $7 away. So what movie would you say comes close to R. Hawking's book, you think? What was that one shit? What Dreams May Come. Robin Williams. Brother Zoe, your words and wisdom can keep someone from the edge for real. Thank you, brother. Respect due. The respect is mutual, brother. John Gilbreth. John Gilbreth, man. Hold your head up and say thank you, sir. Yes, sir, John. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my God. I needed that one. That was good. Thank you. I know your feelings. I feel you. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I needed that. I needed that that laugh. On the clairsentient side of the game, for sure. That was good, John. John, that was great. Man, somebody got to meme that one. I don't know. What did I say? I just said something, but somebody got to meme it earlier. I said it. I hope somebody caught it. Yeah, Robin Williams, amazing comic.
If you got it, it ain't a question.
talk about safe, we're talking about psychologically. That's right, yeah. And you can be psychologically safe and still trip over a cord. That's right, yeah. So it's a great story. I had a business trip to Las Vegas a bunch of years ago, and the client was very generous and put me up at the Four Seasons, which is a lovely hotel. And the reason it's lovely is not because of the fancy beds. Any hotel can buy a fancy bed. It's because of the people who work there. That when you roam the halls and somebody says hello, you get the distinct feeling that they wanted to say hello, not that they were told to say hello. We're highly attuned social animals. We can tell the difference. I mean, it's your idea of being the Nordstroms. It's like people can tell the difference whether they're forced to give good service or they want to give good service. Anyway, they happened to have a coffee bar at the Four Seasons in Las Vegas, and one afternoon I went and bought myself a cup of coffee. And the barista working that day was a kid named Noah. Noah was funny and engaging and charming, and I stood there for far too long just to buy a cup of coffee. And so, as is my nature, I asked Noah, do you like your job? And without skipping a beat, Noah said, I love my job. Now, in my line of work, that's significant, because like is rational, right? I like the people, I like the challenge, I get paid well, I like my job. Love is emotional, it's a higher order connection. Like, do you love your wife? I like her a lot, right?
We on fire tonight. Let's get these callers in. I wanted to play that clip a little bit more, but we got to get callers, man. They're all over the country, man. Dustin from Baltimore. Dustin, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
First of all, how you doing tonight, boss? It's good to hear from you.
Man, I appreciate you reaching out, man. I'm okay.
No, this is a topic because you hit the nail on the head, and it's a lot. Because I went through this today. And every single thing you said is exactly, and this is from the standpoint of the person that kind of withdraws when they triggered. I think part of the thing is, with a man, it's really hard for us to stand up to ourselves. It's easy to stand up to anybody else. But it's a lot of times, like here's a perfect example. I caught myself, and I had to take 5 minutes. But in that 5 minutes, I was quickly reminded that this is a mirror. And this is also the person that tells me that they admire my decisions. And so I should trust the decisions that I make. Because this is the person that challenges me to challenge me.
Oh, that's a gift. Oftentimes, we as men, we think a woman might be being combative or, overly aggressive, but that's a gift. When a woman comes into your life, and brother, you're not alone, Dustin. I'm one of these hard-headed men too. She challenges you to be the best version of you. She holds you accountable. She pushes you, right? And oftentimes we might push back, because it's not a good look. It's fear, it's insecurity, it's unhealed childhood wounds, it's all of that. Yes, but we should get to a space mentally of neutrality to realize that you may not like it, but it's not necessarily always an attack.
Well, that's exactly where I kind of was surprised with myself, because that's where I wind up at. And I felt like if I wanted a way out of that space, this is not the person that came here to hurt me. So why don't I have the same faith I had in that moment that I did when I said I loved her or when I trusted her?
So I'm going to go back. Neutrality and emotional well-being. Neutrality, right? Neutral. Non-judgmental, right? Why am I labeling this or defining this as an attack? Right? Neutrally, right? Being in a state of neutral positivity. What does that mean? This could be good. This could be okay. I'm gonna be open to see. But do you hear what I'm saying? Like I can be open to see where this goes. So neutrality positively impacts emotional well-being by reducing the grip of negative emotions and limiting beliefs. When individuals practice neutrality, they can observe their emotions without getting entangled in them. This practice creates space for emotional balance, resilience, and inner peace. Neutrality empowers individuals to respond to challenges with clarity and compassion rather than reacting impulsively.
That's a fact.
Do you see? I had to learn this too, bro. Like, we in the same classroom. You just sitting closer to the teacher. I'm in the back making noise. But I'm just saying, we in the same school, brother. Does that make sense? Yes.
It was that was the hardest part about trusting my decisions, because I'm more wrong about me than that person is about me.
Wow, that's a big statement.
And that person told me something real. Whenever I feel like that, remember that I owe my life to my losses.
Right. No, but
it's never not a bounce back moment.
Wow. That's good, brother. That's good. Hey, Dustin, guess what you just did? Be more in the building, man. Dustin, you better be more. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let me get this in. Reverend L, Dallas, Texas. I'm running through these calls. Let's go. Reverend L. Rev.
Yes, sir.
Come on, man. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic? Do you have an opinion? You have a perspective? Give it up.
Man, I got a little perspective, man. I'm going to keep this kind of short and sweet, man. These emotional scammers, as we call them, you got to be prepared, man. You got to be mentally intelligent to protect yourself from these type of people, man. That's why they try to isolate you, especially like when you see a man deals with a woman, he'll try to get her from her family, from her friends, so he can play emotional games on her. And nowadays, in the time that we're in, these men play more of the emotional games and create the scammers. They don't Chucky Bookers. You know, they doing running games on these people, and it's not nice. It's not nice at all, man. And it's sad because we have to sit here and coach people and teach people how not to be emotionally ridiculous.
Emotionally ridiculous. That's a term. I love it.
Let me share just one little piece, man. I dated this girl some time ago, and she was broken, but I didn't know how broken she was until she started doing the emotional games. So when you do emotional games, like, she was like, oh, just tell me that you love me. You don't have to mean it. When you hear people say stuff like that, that comes from a place you can't save them. They got to do the internal work for themselves, man. And I just feel bad for these emotional, unprotected people. The emotional scammers, they look for these type of people, man.
That's heavy, man. That's heavy. Reverend L, guess what you just did once again?
Well, Dallas, Texas in the building.
You already know what it is. Hey, John, where you at? John from Mountain View, Hawaii. You was next, bro. I need you back to play his organs, man. Play John's praise break. We need you, brother. Get back in here. The number to dial, 1-800-920-1580. Man, this show flew. No, I know I say that every show, but really, the way I'm just looking at the time, it just. I remember when I was. Listen, I remember when I first started doing radio, 2 hours seemed like, what in the fuck? It seemed like a damn marathon when I was, learning the game and, learning how to do the shows. But Tavis told me one time, he was like, man, when you know what you know, the shows go fast. He said, you know what you know. Like, you know it. You know the information. So knowing the information inside and out, and he was like, you jump from religion to science to history to philosophy to psychology. He was like, the information across multiple, lanes. And he was like, when you know it that way, you find, he said, it feels like you don't have enough time. He was like, when you don't know your information that well, or you don't know how to be a radio personality, it'll feel like a lifetime. So that was a cool little compliment. Oh, absolutely. Hey, her has been my co-host the whole time, and her songs and lyrics, they fit the topic perfectly. But let me give you a little secret. Y'all hear that little background? Start the record at the top, just for a quick second. I just want to give you a little secret. A lot of people don't know that this is Take 6 they sampled. I forgot the song. I just showed somebody the other day. But that's Take 6 on a loop. That's crazy. That harmony in the background. Yo, and Bryson Tiller, great record. Thank you for riding with me, her. We've been on fire tonight. Let me get my final two callers in here, and they're a doozy. They're going to kill. John from Mountain View, get in here. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Okay. I'm triggered. God bless y'all. This feels like combatants. In combatives, there is a thing they call the swarm. It is an inner circle and an outer circle of 24 individuals that you have to fight through and put them on their face while breathing, remembering the moves, and depending on which way they attacked and what they grabbed you with first is what you're supposed to hit. Ladies, your security is not a movie. Men are not heroes. Men are just men. When that thing goes bump in the night,
Wait, stop. Wait, stop. He said your security is not a movie and men are not heroes. This ain't Marvel? What? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, finish, bro.
I'm tired. I'm sorry. But men plus service equals abuse.
Okay, I'm gonna do it.
Don't understand that If you don't understand that, let your man get up in the middle of the night when something goes wrong, and he has to make the decision to take somebody's life, save somebody's life, or save his own. In the midst of that, ladies, you get to feel whatever you want. That's grace.
Heavy stuff, John. John, I know how you feel, brother.
Turn around and ask this question, ladies. How do you feel? Ask the man that's done that for you. How do you feel? Now, use your unjudgmental way. Get into that deeper part of yourself and understand it from his perspective. And that's what he's trying to protect in you.
Interesting.
Help us out, ladies. That's all I got.
Man, John, guess what you just did, bro?
Mountain View's in the house.
You already know what it is. Aloha. My brother called in, but you know we got to do it. Nikki from the SIP closes us out. Let me get out her way. Nikki, what are your thoughts? Do we have food for thought?
Just a few appetizers.
Let's go.
Kings and queens don't give up their thrones. If we are an infinity symbol between each other, if he's armed, I'm armed. Because we're supposed to be looking in the mirror. So, he got to go out, I got to go out. He got to wrestle, I got to wrestle. For him, if he's never been confronted with a woman who is as armed from a physical perspective, at least having the potential to save him if need be, that might be a cause for pause. Because he's never been confronted with that before. Because men are generally in the position of create my safety. Not having been with a woman who could potentially create his safety physically.
Keep going.
Then, if you are not in touch with whatever your higher being is internally, you aren't safe anyway. So you're not going to reflect that safety, nor are you going to attract that kind of safety. And like I said, peril is creeping up from behind real fast.
Peril. I hear you. Come on.
So, give thought to John just asked for, I call him John G.I.I. He just asked about ladies helping out. Some of us do help out.
Yes. A great many sisters help brothers.
Particularly where it is related to physical safety. Because some of us may shoot better than you. But it might be a comfort to know that if I miss, she got me.
I love Nikki. I was thinking emotionally, but Nikki said, hold on. I got you in my sights. If he miss you, I got you. Go ahead.
Yeah, look, we can be emotional after we live. When we killed all the threats, we can be emotional then.
That's right.
I'm going to need you to spend more time with me at the range if you miss me. Come on now.
That's right.
That's called the infinity symbol, right? We are mirroring that energy between us. So if I have done my internal work, having been in touch with my higher power that taught me how to create my own safety, I'm going to come prepared. But if you are a man who's never been confronted with a woman in that space, that may create a mental space in you that's not safe for a minute, because it may appear or cause you to feel threatened. You know, I'm not being threatening. Just because you've never been in that place, like, wait a minute, she can shoot me.
Right.
And not miss.
Right.
All things considered. When you work on the Christ on the inside of you. We keep saying the same thing. You are going to call into your space, whatever you are or not.
Mm. Mm. I love it. I love it.
I had to sit in the building. I love everybody.
Come on, man. Hey, man, listen. I just want to start the discussion. I swear to you, I put this on my grandbaby, Grand Muffin. I don't want to be right. I want to be aligned. I want to be aligned with the right conversation that inspires, that uplifts, that challenges us to look within without fear. You know, according to Dr. David R. Hawkins, fear is where most of us are vibrating. He used the science of kinesiology to say, when you're lying, you're weaker. When you're telling the truth, you're stronger, physically stronger, through kinesiology. And this is how he got these numerical values for the consciousness grid. He said the majority of people on planet Earth, over 95, 97% of people on planet Earth, even more than that actually, are vibrating at the level of fear. Where there is fear, there is not love. And where there is not love, there will be the chase for safety. I started the conversation. It's up to you to finish it. I'll be back tomorrow to wrap my week. That's it. That's it. There's the sample. That's the sample. For my burden. He found it. That's the sample. That's the sample. Yep, that's the sample. Hey, that's a hell of a loop right there, yo. No question. I didn't know that information was online. I just heard the record.
Oh, you literally just heard the record and you knew it was that
And
sample?
well, come on, man. I've been producing hip hop since the 90s. So we listen to break beats that way. So when I heard the record, I said, that's take 6.
Off the rip, huh?
Yeah. Come on. I didn't even know you could Google it like that.
I just Googled the name of the Bryson Tiller song.
Yeah.
And take 6.
Wow. I knew it was take 6. That's crazy. All right, bro. I'll be back tomorrow. You already know what it is. Great show tonight. Appreciate everybody. Thank you for the love. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for supporting. I'm your brother forever. We gonna get it. All right, y'all. Deuces.